How y'all feel? We getting it together, man.
Everybody home.
Let's go.
Everybody go. And I got all my people around. It feel good, don't it? Getting good on it. And I got all my people around. I got a couple minutes in town. A couple 100 miles around. So baby, go on and get us around. Cause I got all my people around. Celebrate.
We partying, yeah, got body in exotic bras lobby in Spanish, Somali, and fly. We live it till we die. We living in the night, toast looking in the eye. On our paper till we get it like Dubai. Shot, stand up, plastic cups. Girls with the drastic butts that for bucks, it don't stop here. Bottles of food pop here, and we gon' get around like Tupac's here. Celebrate like it's New Year. Some bomb rods coming tight nuclear. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Lit the medicinal. Past it, give and go. Backwoods, liquor store, celebrate.
Okay.
Everybody home, everybody go, and I got all my people around. It feel good, don't it? Getting good on it, and I got all my people around. I got a couple minutes in town, a couple 100
TheFlyBoyway.com coming live to you tonight. DJ Chill is doing his thing. We are waiting our guests.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good evening to all my good people. Man, oh man, oh man. Welcome to the Live in the Vocal Booth Show. BCastRadio.com. Saturday nights where you want to be. I'm your boy Chill, Mr. Keep It Real. And riding with my team, my crew. First and foremost, he is the one, the only. I'm gonna start calling him Mr. International because he's everywhere. He's all over the place. He is the one. And if you can't be funky, you gotta be fresh. That's what's up, man.
All right. Fresh in the house.
And then all the way over to the extreme. I guess that's your left. He's the one and only, the man. Ladies, hold your ladies. Men, hold your ladies. Kids, hold your mommies. Because he will flirt, definitely. Because he is the one. He's the man.
It's Kurt Flirt, baby.
In the building.
Kurt Flirt.
And of course, able to leap over kids in a single bound change of diaper with one hand. X-ray vision sees trouble when it's coming, and a belt that will come out. Well, that belt might have retired. That might have retired, but I don't know. But she is the glue, the foundation, the rock of VKS1 Radio. She's the one. The only.
Chocolate cake bacon, aka Superwoman, y'all. What's up?
So what's up,
bacon,
man?
like bacon bits.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, incredible! And correction, his name is Silky Fresh today. He got.
Go ahead.
He's
taking it back to
I'm waiting for him to ask for his powder so he can pimp smack somebody.
One thing I love about Fresh is he is his own man. He is what he got his own flavor, his own style. So I'm gonna give him some love on that. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me tonight, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I guess I was tired. You ever go to tired, just sleep, and then you wake up, your body hurting? I don't want this cold. There's a nasty flu going around, and I had it already, I think. So I don't feel that way, but I just drinking a lot of water tonight. Maybe I need some booze.
We need to boil that mic when he done.
Can we introduce our special guest, one of our special guests tonight?
All right, let's do that.
Well, we have a studio guest with us.
She's going to
be coming in on our topic, which we're going to bring to you shortly. We have the incredible, beautiful, I mean, just a woman. I don't even have enough words to describe her. Talk about spiritual, just talk about forward thinking, positive, modern woman. We have right with us tonight, Marty Otero.
Yeah. Hola.
And I think I have another special surprise for you. And I actually think our guest is on the line.
Is it? Let me turn this music down.
Yeah, turn our music down a little bit. We have a special guest on the line. This gentleman came on the scene not too long ago. He has an incredible vocal style.
Yes,
one that really sets him apart. He has had many incredible accomplishments in the music industry. And he's coming back at us with some new music. Now, do we have on the phone with us the incredible, incomparable Mr. Noel Gourdin?
Yeah. What's happening?
welcome to Live in the Vocal Booth.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all having me on and letting me be a part of your incredible show.
Incredible and a little crazy.
Mm-hmm. We definitely appreciate it.
Well, I like that. That's the way I prefer it.
Now, you know what's funny, Noel? It's after all these years of doing interviews with actors, actresses, authors, singers. Why is it the male singers is the coolest? Hey, you came in all smooth.
You know what? I don't know, man. And believe me, dog. Like not all of us are cool, man. Not all of us, believe me. And you know, I like to keep it 100, and that's just the way I live. That's the way I was raised. Not all of us are cool, but yeah, I mean, I only like to get down with the folks that are real. Still have their head on straight. Aren't flying in the clouds most of the time. So I like to really get down with the people that are real, and that's the only way I get down. I mean, life is too short, man, to be fake. So.
Well, I heard that. I'm gonna say
I feel like I'm right.
That deserves a hand clap. Listen, that's what's up, and I'm gonna be fair, and just playing and joking around, but real talk is good that you like that because your talent is like out of worldly. I heard the song. I was listening to your song, "The River," man, and if. It's good that you are grounded because I'm gonna tell you right now, with a voice like that, you're gonna have to be up high to catch the people that's coming up high with you. Like, oh no, this is great because it's a great song. Let's jump right into it.
I just want to ask you, when you came out with that song, was that your first major hit, Down by the River?
That actually was. That was the first major hit. That record came out and saw the light of day on my first album, After My Time. It was the first single on that. It was on the soundtrack of Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. And yeah, we actually wrote that record in 2005, though, which is crazy. That was in the crate for a long time before it saw the light of day. Yes, it was the first actual record that we had for the hit, and it held #1 on the Billboard charts for 15 weeks. So. We were extremely happy with what it did and how it was received. The support that we get from that record just to this day. I still get thanked to perform that record. So
that's amazing.
Tremendous blessing to be able to have that and the success that it saw.
You know how hard it is to be on the Billboard for 15 weeks?
It's incredible. Hard in these days. Yes, incredible. I have to say, too, I remember, when that song came out and, looking at you, you're absolutely gorgeous. I had just to say.
I thought I was
I'm not nagging. I'm just stating the facts as they are. But it's something about your voice. It captivates you.
You might be in trouble.
Yes, very soulful.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And coming from a lady that really, it hits home. You got to be careful because I got a real problem. So I'm practicing. But yeah. I mean, I just try to keep it true, keep it authentic, as authentic as I can. I'm following in the footsteps of the greats of the past. The music that I grew up with, the pops used to call them oldie but goodies. And, they're still around, and Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, Tyrone Davis, Johnny Taylor, Al Green, Otis Redding. Those are the artists that I grew up on. And I try to stay true and keep the integrity of the music because, I mean, we got to respect where it came from. They went through a lot to put that music out, and I'm just trying to do my justice and do my part in this industry.
So, Noel, being as though you said that, we actually have a topic today which is about basically respect for the elders and the other people, the people came before you. You have any ideas on the what we feel as though lack of respect for the older or past artists?
The pioneers. Kind of paved the way.
Well, I mean, I think it stems from record execs and radio folk that are just following suit. They're following suit on what's happening right now, and and that's just what it is. There's no real pioneers anymore, and when I say that, that's why I believe that what you guys are doing and what everybody else is doing around the globe that's doing the internet radio, y'all are what it's the essence of what it used to be. And you guys give artists like myself and this genre that's trying to get pushed out, you give us a voice. And, it's not like that. It used to be like that on syndicated radio years and years ago, and that was the beautiful time. That was when everything was love That's when music was music. You know, now you can get on. I mean, I love it, but you could get on social media, and it's so. You know, there's music everywhere. There's artists everywhere, and it wasn't like that years and years ago. You know, but I mean, that's a beautiful thing, and the bad thing about it, which is crazy. So it's just like computers. When computers came out, you know, record sales were great. And then computers came out, and everybody started ripping and burning and this and that, and everything started taking a dive. But I mean, you can't have one without the other. You can't have the good without the bad. So it just is what it is. You know, it's that coin phrase that everybody says nowadays. But it is what it is, and we all have to coexist. And, you know, artists such as myself can just look at folks like y'all with y'all show and your platform. You're giving us a platform to really be heard.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right,
we're looking on that.
BCast1Radio.com. We are live in the vocal booth. We are talking with our guest, Noel Gourdin. Let's dive into just the career aspect. I always find it fascinating, the jump from when someone really realizes this is real for me. I am a professional artist. What was your reaction? Let's take us back. Take us back to when you first started doing this thing and how you got into the business, one, and then two, when did you know that this was real? This is real for me. I can do this.
Let me see. Going back, I don't want, you know, because this story can go on. We can you know, we can break out the moonshine and really go on and on. But let me see. I'd say back in 2002 or so, like I got with my manager, my man Larry Fernandez, and my then manager Larry Fernandez back in Boston, and you know, we linked up with my man T.O. Tommy Oliveira back in Rhode Island, and Tommy had worked with, you know, the legendary KG. The producer, super producer of Naughty by Nature, and he had worked with Next and Jaheim and Coffee Brown and artists like that. So he had to connect with KG. But, you know, we went out there to meet with KG and took trips. You know, we scrounged up the money we could, sleeping in cars and everything. Whatever we had to do, we did it. We went out to New Jersey, came back home, still kept working on our catalog. And then we got a thing from, we went out to L.A., and I met up with Dre. So I was in the studio with Dre for about 3 weeks with Dr. Dre. And, you know, it was going down. And that's when I knew that I had something, because Dr. Dre just don't keep anybody in the studio and put us up in the hotels for almost a month. And, you know, it's just like the offer that he had came across with, I told him, you know, straight up, it just wasn't the type of offer that we were looking for to step in. But that was validation enough to know that Dr. Dre wanted to put something down on paper.
Now, were you with Dre now? Because you know he will shelf somebody. Like back then, I would have said, "Yo, man, don't shelf my music." But the way he looked now, I'd have been like, "Okay, Dre, I'm going to sit down." There's always that intimidation factor going into that too. So, were you intimidated a little bit about at that point in time? Or once again, you're comfortable in who you are, and you know your God-given ability.
Nah, I couldn't lie to you, bro. Yeah, I was intimidated a little bit, but, you know, all at the same time. You know, with each day that we stayed there, each day, I mean, because I'm a songwriter, so I think about things. Each day, he's keeping us in the hotel and keeping us coming to the studio, you know, every single day, and that costs money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, you know, that's validation with each day. Of those 3 weeks, it was more validation than validation just piled on top of each other. So it's such a blessing, and I was intimidated, but still, you know, I knew he had us there for a reason. He had me there for a reason, recording and doing this, and you know, great things came out of it. And you know, whether the deal got done or not, it just wasn't right at that particular time. But it was enough for me to know that I was doing the right thing with my life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was tremendous, man, and that did a lot for my confidence in knowing that I was, like I said, doing what I was supposed to be doing. So, came back home, and then, you know, from there, it just took off. And around then, about 2003, 2004, we met back up with KG, and our catalog was crazy by then.
KG was actually in the studio.
KG was working on that movie, The Cookout. So he actually put me on the beginning credits. We had a record called The Family Reunion, and I wasn't even signed it, and that was pretty much my first foot in the door. And the rest is history. Everybody started grabbing on to the first record, which was The River, and from then on, man.
That's what's
been
up.
a blessing, though. My life has been changed.
No doubt. And shout out to KG. He came through on the studio. He came through on the Live in the Cypher show, and also he just blessed us with knowledge and everything. And he's a good dude. He's a real good dude.
Real good dude, man. Real good dude.
That's love. That's love. All right, man. So one other thing too, before we jump into your song,
new music. Mm-hmm.
The new song, I just wanted to have you talk about the song, which is
Heaven Knows.
Heaven Knows. I'm sorry, Heaven Knows, because my computer is down. Talk about that and what that song meant. No, I always want to find this out too. Your state of mind when you wrote the song, and then talk about what it's about.
Okay, well, I did this record with the very talented Marcellus Dawson. My man, hands down, in Atlanta, Georgia. He's from Chicago, and we just linked up. We did a lot of work in the past. Like he was actually one of the producers that was on The River, and he was one of the producers that was actually on the Family Reunion record. And it was kind of crazy how everything came full circle. We had linked up, and we was like, yo, let's just do some records, man, and let's just get it popping. So we linked up right from the beginning, and we had a great rapport, and the work ethic that he has is what I have. I don't like to take breaks in the studio, and the frame of mind we were in was just, what does the industry not have that, that it needs? It was almost like The River at that time. Wow. It's that, I call it retro relevancy. It's that retro throwback feel, but still relevant in kids of today. This new generation can still understand it and vibe with it and want to ride with it. You know what I'm saying? And share it, which I think is very important. So we was in that frame of mind, man, and just talking about how, people on the outside of relationships can alter it, and how they can try to smash things down when people, you got in-love haters, and you got people that just don't want to see people prosper and be happy together. We all, we're adults, man, and things happen, in relationships, and we're not perfect. And it's crazy how you hear, sometimes there's infidelities and cheating and all of that kind of thing. And people say if you do that, you don't love them. I don't particularly believe that. It's just things happen. Temptations get the better of us sometimes. And,
life.
Say that again. My wife is listening. Say that one more time. One more time.
Y'all just trying to get in trouble today, huh? y'all gonna be in here.
This is just my perspective. This is the frame of mind that we were in when we were talking about this record and writing this record. So that's pretty much where we came from with Heaven Knows, and only Heaven knows how much you love this person. And love prevails. Love prevails as long as your love is strong for each other. It can work. It can work as long as you people are ready. One time, my pop said something that was so eloquent. He said, "It's not that you're not meant for each other. It was just that you was together at the wrong time in your lives. And if you're ready to make it happen, that's it. Love prevails. So only Heaven knows."
Wow. Okay. Wow. I was going to ask you to lead into it, but you just did that. All right, y'all. BCast1Radio.com, live in the vocal booth with my man Noel Gourdin. Heaven Knows. Let's get it, y'all.
Where did we go wrong in this love affair? Too late to turn around. Oh, no need to reminding that. 'Cause we both lied and we cheated. I still care, please believe it. I pray to God that we'll make it. Like Adam and Eve, we're both naked. I'll hold on, we can take it through the storm and the rain. And I won't let go, no more blaming. Whatever you want, you just name it. Yeah. Only heaven knows how much I love you. I need you, I need you. Heaven knows how much I love you. 'Cause I don't want nobody else. Yeah, listen, girl. ones in there, yes we do. No more going to our past, 'cause we have a present in the future. Oh, even though our house is made of glass, 'cause we both lied and we cheated, I still care, please believe it. I pray to God that we'll make it. Like Adam and Eve, we're both naked. I'll hold on, we can take it through the storm and the rain, and I won't let go, no more blaming. Whatever you want, you just name it. How much I love you. Can I get a witness who's in love just like me? Heaven knows how much I love you. I need a love healing. Listen to me, we've got nosy friends and in love haters running our life. Don't wanna think twice about our relationship. I'm forever with you, but let's get over this bump. My life will pursue. I want you, we're not through. How much I love you. Oh, I want you. Heaven knows how much I love you. We're gonna go to church on Sunday morning, baby. We're gonna sit and listen to the word. Yeah.
We're gonna listen to the words.
That's hot. That's hot.
Oh my God.
That's crazy right there. That's crazy.
Hey,
I'm about to learn that tonight. I'm gonna learn that tonight.
You got a new one on your hands now. You know that.
I'm gonna sing that to somebody tonight. You about to make me a lucky man this evening. Yes, you are. And I thank you in advance.
Chill.
You know, it kind of sounds like a wedding song to me.
Yeah, he killed that.
And Noel, don't front, man. Don't front. We pride ourselves. That's my name, Chill. Mr. Keep It Real. I know you can't stand when non-singing interviewers talk and sing your song because they mess it up. Just for the record.
Nah, dog. You know what, man? I actually love it, man. I love it. You know why? They can actually hear themselves singing, and they know they're not singing sounding good. But you know what? It's the spirit of the record, man, and the soul of the record that just have them singing. Period. So
Speak for yourself,
that's
Chill.
a beautiful thing, man. That's what it's about.
I lead into. Do you need a background singer on tour?
Wait.
All right, now, Chill.
Long as they soups and Chill.
I'm gonna hit you.
I'm gonna hit you.
That's what's up, man. Beautiful song, definitely beautiful, man. And the thing that I enjoy about your singing, and I'm gonna keep it, like I said, keep it real. My mantra is you have an amazing range, amazing. Like the notes when you're doing the falsetto, man, is right on point. You know what I mean? So that right there is not everybody can make that transition from going down low and then all of a sudden just getting back up in them heights, man. That's a talent that is unmatched in the singing industry, man.
I appreciate it, brother. And I tell you what, when I have a string of shows and I'm on the road, man, it kicks my ass sometimes on stage. You know, I got to be real with you there. But yeah, I mean, you know, I work with Belay Muhammad of the Clutch, and he always said that that's one of my, you know, that's one of my things that I should really just continue to do because it's a trademark in a sense. So that's something that helps me stand apart. And you know, it's something in my soul, man, that I love. I mean, I love Prince, you know, Philip Bailey, you know, a lot of people that did that falsetto type of thing, but still was able to, you know, bring it back down to the tenor and make people feel it, man. So I just try to soak up as much as I can from all my studying and listening to the great artists of the past that I named earlier, and just try to keep it true, man. Keep it from my heart and full of integrity.
You're gonna be my vocal coach.
You know what, Noel? I watched the video and I love how real it is. Like I can realize exactly what you going through, like with your woman calling and you just hanging out with the fellas. I mean, trust, and you go home and you you don't get to hit. You don't hit the end of it. All right?
Wow.
It happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah,
You know what? I mean, that great treatment was done by Jabril Haynes, man, of Original Films in Atlanta, Georgia, and you know the beautiful Tommy Cole co-starred with me in the video, and man, it was such a great shoot, man. We all got along real good. You know, we all had sense of humor, so it was crazy, man. So it was fun, man. I had a great time doing it, and I couldn't be happier with the turnout of the video, man. It was great.
Now, one other thing I want to ask you, Chill, Mr. Keep It Real. We are on live with Noel Gourdin on BCast One Radio, live in the vocal booth. I guess the question that I always present as I watch and I look at this industry, as I see music, how it evolves, how it goes from generation to generation. And I want you to be fair. With voices like yours, I don't think so. But as a soulful singer, where do you think the status of R&B is now? Because you got a lot of songs now, a lot of R&B artists have made gym songs. That's what I call them. Let me be honest. You know, and I can call out people because I ain't gonna work with them. See, so you just feel me on what I say. I'm not gonna ask you to call out names, but I love Neo, and he did a lot of soulful things. But now he's kind of changed it over to the more pop sound. Same thing with Chris Brown, the pop sound. Justin Timberlake, the pop sound. Where do you stand with that in the status of where R&B is right now?
I don't think R&B gets its its justice. I don't think the artists that are actually singing R&B in a category that I came up with, soul R&B. I don't think those artists are really getting the light of day. You know, the Anthony Hamiltons, he's just now getting his almost just due. And you got Eric Roberson that's been out there for years. Eric Benet that's got a tremendous voice. You know, people like that are doing music. They don't get the justice. You know, and my man Joe Thomas is one of the illest that's in the industry, that has been in the industry for years and years. And you know, I mean, I think all of those artists that you just named, I think they've always been pop. I mean, nobody's been more pop than Justin Timberlake, and he's crowned almost one of the soul brother number ones.
Yeah.
Fair point.
It's kind of crazy to me. You know, it's frustrating. And, you know, Robin Thicke, too, like if you look at his earlier music, you know, it just is what it is, man. I mean, they crown him like soul brother number ones, and it's frustrating. I mean, and I'm not just talking about my music and people looking at me in a certain way. I'm talking about, like, all those artists I just named, Anthony Hamilton, you know, Eric Benet, Kenny Lattimore, and, you know, Dwele, and all of these artists, man, they're soul artists, and they don't get their just due. And it's sad, man. It's disheartening. But it goes back to the fans, and it goes back to, you know, them really supporting and getting behind this music. If they did, then, you know, they would get the love. They would get the love. But, you know, like I said, it is what it is, man. And all, you know, us artists can do is just continue to make the music that we feel on our hearts and souls, you know. And people always say, where's the soul gone? The soul is never left, man. It's not been gone. It's just not getting the light of day and not getting the love that it should be.
Right.
I wanted to dedicate a song to you, man, and I want you to hear it. All right, just real quick, and then to what you're saying is a great point. I love this song.
What is he doing?
To his point, Justin, when he first came out, we rocked out to a pop song.
Yep.
And I vividly remember that as soon as you said that, because he didn't come out with Timberland and bump in the R&B. Remember that he came out with the pop joint. Yeah. So
who you talking about? Dog? That's Justin, right?
Yeah. Well, that was NSYNC, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, he was with NSYNC, yo.
That's it.
Like the poppiest music ever.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Eminem probably going on right now.
With the, you know, soul greats on you know,
it is
award shows. Like it's crazy, man.
And then they acting like it never happened. That's the thing that gets me. Like it never happened.
The fans. I mean, it's all in the fans, man. They gotta support this music. They gotta support our genre. They gotta keep it alive, man. Because you look on the award show ballots, man. How many like R&B and soul awards are there? I mean, almost none. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
That was Chill's favorite song.
But also, you know, media plays such a major part in that because people are very fickle. It's what they hear all the time. It's what when they turn on the radio. And in certain markets, you hear the same 10 songs every hour on the hour.
Right.
And that has a lot to do with it. Yeah, it's conditioning. And people play right into that.
It is.
And with their pocketbooks.
I don't listen.
And the good thing is, like I said, and I do agree with you. I have posed that question to a lot of people because it's interesting to me, and it's also a generational thing. But this is how I felt. My mother and father taught me, so music falls. Good music stays with us because it is taught from parents to go down. So when I grew up, my mother, they was listening to Teddy Pendergrass. So I listened to that. That's in my MP player. So it's very interesting now, though, how I guess the generational gap where it's young kids raising young kids, and I don't want to get too deep with it, but that's the reality of it. So if mama's listening to a pop sounding, and I like this guy, but let's just say B.O.B., and she teaching her daughter B.O.B., and it's not teaching the soul. There's no balance. Yeah, no balance. So, but you know what? With voices like yours, man, I have no doubts. Because we're going to support you here at BKS1 Radio. Man. We'll put you in the playlist and let it rotate. And I'm definitely going to support you, man. Because that's going to...
Well, I thank you. Look, man, I really appreciate y'all. Like I said earlier, man, y'all give us a platform. And y'all are keeping us alive. You're really the heartbeat of radio. Y'all are the future. So I really appreciate you all for letting me come on and be a part of your show. And just stay tuned. Stay tuned for the coming. We're going to be releasing the Heaven Knows real soon. And I'm glad to let people know that the album's coming out February 18th. It's entitled City Heart Southern Soul. So everybody keep on the lookout.
I like that too. Now, Noel, before you go, I want to make sure you tell people how they can plug into you so that they can follow you, where they can find you on social media, all that.
Cool. My Facebook, I'm at Noel Gourdin. I got a band page. I don't reach my limit on my personal page, but I implore everybody to go to my band page and like it and send me messages. And I like to feel the love, and it is me that's working those pages. So I'm Noel Gourdin on Facebook and at Noel Gourdin on Twitter as well. My website is noelgourdin.com. That's NOELGOURDIN.com. And everybody just get in touch with me. I love to get messages from my supporters, and I will hit you back.
Now, Noel, before you go, we got to get the hot drop from you. Now, I know that you're a professional and you know how to rock it, but something like Heaven Knows BKS1 Radio is the place to be, and I'm Noel Gourdin. Something along those lines.
She was going to ask him to sing it. I thought she was going to say sing it.
However you want to give it to us. No, we'll
all right, so what do I need to say? Give me what I need to say.
Well, you want to definitely make sure you talk about the new song, and then just BKS1 Radio. B for best, K for kept, S for secret. BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio.
Yes.
All right. What's shaky, y'all? This is your boy Noel Gourdin. You're listening to Heaven Knows on BKS1 Radio, baby.
That's all on one take.
I actually follow him on Instagram too. He has an Instagram page too, and
Instagram. I mean, it's the same. It's Noel Gourdin.
And I actually like that song he has. It's called "Beautiful," I believe.
Yes.
I was watching the video.
Beautiful.
I heard that song. Right. I actually heard that song on radio a lot before.
Yeah, it got a lot of love, man. It went to number 10. It went to number 10 on Billboard. I was hoping we'd be able to push it to the top 5, but if we look at all of the competition and all the great records that was on the Billboard charts at that time, we're really happy to be able to get to 10.
Man, you gotta say that. I'ma say this. We gonna push Noel. You gonna be the man. Yeah. Next year we playing you. We gonna program people that listen to our playlist. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put you in every other song. I'm gonna be like, damn, did I just hear the song?
Yeah, I love the conviction in your voice. I'm getting pumped up,
That's what's up, baby. All right, man. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And we'll be hearing from you again, man. Definitely, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all for having me on. God bless.
All right,
hopefully when you get on the billboards again, we'll get you in the studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that's all I can say is wow.
Yeah, that brother's voice is ridiculous.
Oh, yes. His voice is crazy.
The funny thing about it is he definitely has a grasp on where he is, how he got there, because I'm always interested in hearing, especially real talented people, how is their attitude? What is it? Because some people with a voice like that, with talent like that, would be arrogant, and you can sense it in their voice. But he is humble,
very humble.
And he's just thankful for where he's at, and I love it, man. I love his voice. Anytime you got dudes like in your songs, come on.
I like the fact that real. He's not afraid to say what's really going on in the industry right now, and that really did hold stands at all, because a lot of people will fall back behind it like, oh no, I want to get on, so I'm not going to speak what's really going on. But he didn't. He wasn't afraid. I like that.
Well, he's already on, so.
Yeah, man, and that's
very
the
true.
good thing.
Top 15, top 10 on Billboard.
Yeah.
He definitely made his mark.
You know who else is like that? And I mean, listen, the R&B pop debate right now, and Soups, before Fresh and Flirt, y'all came on board, we had this topic before, and Soups, no, this has been true to my heart for a long time with this R&B versus pop. And don't get me wrong, listen, you still gotta have there are some talented singers still doing it up in pop. I'm not gonna lie about it. They're good at what they do. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But I miss that soulful sound. I just miss that sometimes. Sometimes I just get sick of hearing the songs that I can work out to. Yeah. Or the songs that are on One Tree Hill, and the songs that are on the background of these reality shows.
Yeah, what you be watching at the house, man?
My wife be watching that stuff.
He's on repeat.
It's funny that you say that, though, because I'm an R&B singer. And the more like I start singing, or, in the studio with my producer, the more I say R&B singer, the more I want to say like soul, because I like feel good music. So it seems like feel good music. Like when you sing it, it makes you feel a certain type of way. I've been sick to the point, when I'm the most down, which I have a strong immune system, so I rarely get sick. I eat very healthy, but if I get sick and my voice, like you get that sore throat and I can't sing, that's when I'm the most down. It makes me almost like it's like a depression type of state. I've been sick, went to an open mic, sang. People like, just sing a couple songs, and I felt better physically. So,
and I like what you said too, Kirk, because that's what it is. Listen, let's be honest, let's be real about it. The money's right now, quote unquote, pop. That's what everybody's doing.
They can keep it.
And here's the thing: as a R&B / I like what we're gonna start calling the soul music. It made you feel. Listen to the lyrics. It made you feel. You felt certain ways. Pop to me is more good rhythm. It just makes you wanna dance. It don't make you feel.
Correction, soul and B. That's
Soul and B.
Noel.
I like that. I like
Soul and B.
All right, go ahead, Fresh.
That's actually in every genre of music, though. It's not about substance anymore. So we actually.
Oh man,
you discussed that at one point, but it's not about substance no more. It's not. It's about what is entertaining. What keeps you.
Do you know how many times I watched or heard music, and I'm like, how did he get a record deal? I was what were they watching? I don't remember where I was, but somebody was watching something on TV. Oh, my friend owns Shannon that has the shop, and I was in there and she was watching something on television, and they showed the guy in there, and he was like, yeah man, you do it for real, right? You from the hood, man, you need to get on the record label. They were trying to pitch to get this new rap artist to sign him on their label. He was like, yeah man, you need to rap about the killing and all that, cause you do it for real, right? You with the gangs and about shooting the brother and shooting the nigga. And he said, you Jewish, right? He said, so if I came to you and asked you to write a record, but what he told him was to write about him shooting and killing his brothers, but hip it up or
yeah,
something like
that's
that.
A famous
He said, would you he said, if I came to you and told him to talk about the Holocaust and what they did to your people, but liven it up or hip it up, would you do it?
Then he walked away. Man, it depends on the situation. Like I said, a lot of people think that if they get somebody famous, and this is something else that I like about Noel, and then we're going to jump to our guest and our topic. You know how bold you got to be to walk into someone established, whether it be Dre, anybody, something like that brings you in the industry, and then you tell them, nah, I'm not. I mean, listen, thank you, but nah. And I tell you what I was watching today. It was what's the movie with Will Smith when he had his little son? Pursuit of Happiness. I caught that today, and there was one time where he was in this big firm, and the guy bust his chops to get him in the firm, and that's when he came in with his suit and all that all dirty. And then he had the nerve to say, look, this job is no pay. I'm not what I'm looking for. And I was like, damn, that's conviction. So that's just something to think about, man. BCast1Radio.com. We got a great topic. We got an in-house guest, man. And She gonna jump in. I love the boots. Now
we gonna have to fight for that.
Better now.
Hey, don't try to be like me. Now everybody want to jump on the boot bandwagon. We was gonna call her Red Boots.
Now,
I ran to the ladies' room and I came back and I caught a look at those boots.
Like the Red Shoe Diaries.
And, you know, we won't make her kick her leg up there, but
Look, she did. There it is. Got her.
those
Nice.
boots are
She got a date tonight.
They're fire.
Don't come down to the stool. We got security.
now, what else is funny? And I know everybody gonna take this the wrong way, but you know I keep it real. That's my mantra. For my church, we had a
Red boot sale?
no. It was a comedy show that I was asked to do a skit. So I got my wife.
You had some red high heel boots on?
And PM dressed up with the Yankee hat to the side and the Yankee jacket. She came out, and the first thing she said, you know, y'all ain't got enough passports, and you ain't got enough stamps in your passport to mess with young H.O. So I came out.
Beyonce.
Why you didn't invite us?
I did. It was crazy. I had pads in my butt and everything. But what was crazy, I had on some of my wife's heels.
Terrible.
Yeah, this is all true story. This is all true story.
Terrible.
I kid you not. True story. Anybody out there that go to my church, please call in, verify this with my team.
Better yet, send us the pictures.
Yeah, send us the video. We need that ASAP.
But I applaud you because, as God is my witness, I don't know how y'all women do it. My feet, and I'm not kidding, not heel, not ball, not arch. My feet, top, toenails, pinky toe, was hurting. But y'all do it all the time. I got a newfound respect for that. And your style is impeccable.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you some level in that. So where you get them boots? Them boots are sharp, man.
I can't tell you my secret.
I like her.
We're going to talk about them boots some more after the show.
Fire.
All right, we got a topic, man. Let me pull everything up, man. Go
I
ahead.
just want to say one thing because you just brought that up about walking in your, wife's heels.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so today
Cross-dressing
I want to share.
somebody.
We had my son and his girlfriend's baby shower. Baby due any minute, and thank you. I'll be a grandma for the 6th time.
Aww.
No wonder you so relaxed. I'm sitting there saying to myself, why is Susie? Shouldn't she be in the hospital all day? She just like, no. Go ahead.
No, I'm just so happy somebody else having the babies now. That after 6, I'm done. I just get to hold them and give them back. But they had a game at the baby shower where the men, and it just so happened, it was really cute. All of my boys, except for my little one, had to put a balloon under their shirt like they were pregnant,
Oh, wow.
and then put their shoes on and tie them.
Wow.
So
wow.
that was really
Yeah,
fun. I hadn't
that's
seen
funny.
that game yet.
Without popping the balloon?
That was cute. The first one to get done without popping the balloon was the winner. So, Chill, you know which one won, right?
The little small. Well,
Was it Aaron?
Mm-mm. The one that always coming at you with the Steelers. Drake, my competitive one.
Shout out to Drake.
He had to beat his brothers, man.
How did you
probably
do
cheated.
that? I can't even picture.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. They were trying to bend over with the balloon as the pregnant belly. But miracle to me that they
suck
all
the stomach.
that
Was
they
it
all
filled
did
with water or
No, it was just a
air?
balloon.
Just a balloon.
Yeah.
he sucked his stomach in. He's skinny.
I
Big
don't
up
know,
to the
man.
Roach Boys. I love y'all.
Yeah,
I
man.
do.
Tremendous, man.
babies.
All right, so
Shout out to Show Enough in the chat
How many
room.
sons do you have?
show enough.
Show Enough.
6 sons? Oh, wow.
Show enough in the chat. And,
Hey, Show
and
Enough.
do we got any love? Thank you. Actually, we do got love. Show enough is just in the chat room, man. And what is he saying? Anything?
Show enough.
He actually said,
Who's the man?
good luck to Noel. And he said it was great music that he was listening to. And, he's saying chill. It was good, man.
Popping, man. Chilling, doing my thing, trying to at least. I feel a little bit of ways, but my team is here. And we ready to rock and roll. We got a great topic, too.
He said his team is here. That's us, not the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You funny.
They sitting home watching the thing just like my Colts.
Actually, this is my wife hat. I better be careful, y'all. I'm wearing a lot of my wife's stuff.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
I'm thinking about that.
Hold on, what? So what you saying? You got on her drawers right now?
No.
The lace or the peach?
Man.
You terrible. With the purple ones. The purple and turquoise in the front.
Now, I'm gonna let Fresh dive in on this because it's a great topic. Actually, let me just state this, to how it came to be. Because it was very interesting, actually. So, for those of you that don't know, Wednesday night, live in the Cypher show, we were doing our year end on Martin Luther King, so we were celebrating. and there were some flyers. I don't know. We didn't get those pics up, but it's all good. It's all good. There were some flyers that had
circulated around the internet.
Yeah, party flyers, and Martin Luther King. They imposed his face in a lot of crazy type things. Now, example, the first one had him with a Jesus piece on, where he had his hands up in the air. Now, mind you, the flyer was about Martin Luther King. It's a Martin Luther King birthday party. Another one had him holding a bunch of money, and girls was around him.
Oh, wow.
And then one of them said, "Freedom to twerk."
Yes.
Martin Luther King on it with an iced out medallion.
Wow.
And we had a mixed crowd because the question that was brought up is, was that disrespectful? So that led Fresh, who always checks us out on Wednesday night because he's a hip hop artist himself, tremendous hip hop artist.
Thank you.
Hold up. It's so good. I'm going to let y'all finish, but I didn't mean to cut y'all. But it's funny you said that because I was on my way here. And I was listening to this Kendrick Lamar, the backseat freestyle, and he was talking about Martin had a dream. Yeah. And then he started the words, though. I listened to the words after, and I was like, wow, that's kind of, because it kind of negates the Martin had a dream part. When he started rapping, and the words that he's saying is ridiculous.
So it was crazy because we and to tell you the truth, I didn't know how I felt. I mean, we had Short Fuse even was, going in, and he was going in, and it was a mixed crowd. It was a mixed crowd, mixed emotion. So Fresh, good idea, came about it with our crowd here at the vocal booth. I'm very curious as to how people feel, so I'll let Fresh lead in. And then talk about the topic, and then, like I said, our guests can chime in. We all gonna talk about this situation. You could call in. Our number to call in 646-233-1302. That's 646-233-1302. All right, Fresh, it's on you, baby.
Yes. Tonight's topic basically is about respect for your elders or respect in general. Why do so many new artists, actors, and comedians have lack of respect for the generations that came before them? When did this disrespect begin? And is there any way that we can change this current trend of downgrading the previous pioneers of music and entertainment and leaders?
Well said. So, you know me. I'll tell you the truth. I view myself as old school, but I'm not traditional. You know what I'm saying?
You mean open?
I try to be. Because it's very interesting. I didn't know how I felt about the flyer. Now, part of me was like, what? Why did they do this, and third? But then part of me was like, from the end of using his likeness without his family's permission or whatever that may be, because you got to remember, Martin Luther King it's an entity. There's money being made off his name. I'm just going to keep it real. Absolutely. He's a great leader, a civil rights leader. It is what it is. We could talk about him all night. But there's money behind his name. So from that angle, theoretically, if someone uses your likeness without your permission, you should be liable for suit. Right. So, but
they could
push that to the side.
Let's
talk about the moral aspect in that. I wasn't too sure. I mean, because to me, it was Martin Luther King's birthday. Well, there was part of me that was like,
it makes sense.
It was all right.
No, I think it's awful.
All right, well, go ahead, Soup. Talk about it.
I think it's awful in the fact that it sends a message that it's okay to have a lack of respect for someone that did so many great things, that particular group that's going out to party to it and trying to attract people to come out to they're not really respecting the holiday. People downgraded to a party. No, this man died. He died. He gave his life for what he believed in.
That's fair.
And that should have a level of respect that surpasses, getting your twerk on.
Yeah, and right here, Show Enough said, straight up disrespect, no question, because they feel entitled. They are spoiled beyond belief. No dues are being paid by this new generation, and I completely agree.
Now, let me go into our in-house guest, and what's your thoughts about that?
I don't know if you want to give me the mic.
Yeah, we do.
No. I'm going to hold it while you talk so I can snatch your backside. No, I'm joking.
Okay, I'm going to go in real deep because that's the only way I know how to go in.
All right.
Sound like me.
First of all, when you look at the legacy of MLK, when you look at his legacy, when you look at the marches, when you think about the lynching and the tarring and the feathering of our people, I think it's very degrading. There's no two sides of the fence here. It's only one. There's a standard that was set by this man. He gave his life. He gave up being a father to his children. He gave up being a husband to his wife. He gave up a lot. He was a trailblazer.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, no one took the baton once we laid him down. No one took the baton.
Hello.
So to me, I think it's degrading, and the only way this generation can feel that was okay was because the generation before failed to really emphasize the importance of what the price that was paid. I look at it this way: there was such a our young people don't understand the civil rights movement. They have no connection to it because they have never even tasted a bit of an experience associated with the price that was paid, the battle that was fought. They don't have a connection to racism. They have a connection to being profiled, but they have no connection to racism where you really couldn't walk down the street and not fear for your life. You have to understand when the kids sat at Woolworths or whatever. Yeah, where they sat at that counter, they could have just been killed. Literally, there's no lawsuits. There was no legal system that protected us. And for me, I just think that to just toy with that is just that's taboo.
Now, to your point, which was well said, excellent point. When we were on the Cypher show, a lot of the callers, it's age genre, obviously, because hip hop, we got everything from 16 to 50 calling in. We asked the younger rappers, before y'all start spitting, give us a valid point about Martin Luther King. Some of them couldn't
even know. Yeah.
Some of them just basically said, well, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. Which I think was
there's no heartfelt connection. See, you understand what I'm saying? And I want to tie in how you talked about earlier, and you tapped into it about how you felt when you listened to certain music. See, music speaks to the heart and soul of mankind, and so that's why it's very important for our singers, those R&B artists and the entertainers. It's so important for them to be responsible because it talks to the soulish issues. It stops somebody from committing suicide. It inspires them to a point of greatness. And depending on what you put into your gates to your soul, because you have gates to your soul, so depending on what you put into your gates to your soul will determine and influence your behavior. So it's very important. To whom much is given, much is required. So if God has, whether they believe in God or not, I'm a woman of God, whether they believe in him or not, he still blesses them and gives them that ability to go forward, because the word says but the word says blessings fall on the just and the unjust. It doesn't matter whether they believe in him or not. He still has full control, and they are blessed to go forward. And in that blessing, they're held accountable. They're held accountable for the person that listens to them. If they're talking about certain things that lead to death and killing and that suicide is okay, you're actually influencing somebody and saying, hey, I'm putting a stamp of approval. Go ahead and kill yourself. Why live another day? Or you're putting a stamp of approval to say, go ahead, you can do it. You can make it another day. And so to me, when I think about this connection with the respect and the disrespect and how it's influencing generations, we have watered down accountability. We have set the standard that excuses are okay. Let's excuse them. They don't understand. Instead of making them accountable. And just in our culture, it's our responsibility in our culture to make sure that our young people understand the price that was paid in Martin. When I was raising my kids, we actually watched Roots. My kids actually watched Roots. And although North and South wasn't really true, it gave them a model of how the North and the South was back in the day and how slavery was. And we did this every year,
Absolutely.
every year, just
Absolutely.
to drive home the point, because we're getting to the point where there's such a distance in the years between the civil rights movement and the up and coming generation. If we don't keep that, you know how our ancestors did. We always told a story. Rap started off with telling a story, and that way you kept the up and coming generation soulfully connected with the price that was paid.
Now let me pose this question to the panel, and then fresh. Listen. Matter of fact, I'll ask you to answer this question. Now, I brought up the Flyers, and I'm just being angel's advocate here. That being said, I've seen plenty of churches advertise with King on posters. Hey, we celebrating the King. So forth, so on. To me, that's kind of, now people are gonna say, well, he ain't holding money or he ain't doing that. But to me, sometimes I understand what people do, but sometimes we got to understand also that a man is a man is a man. He's not perfect. He's not. Sometimes you send a message. We put somebody up so high that they can't be touched. A good way to say it, and that's what my fear is. Now listen. I totally respect everything he done. I'm 44, and I'm not saying to go twerk on his grave like some young lady did. That's totally foul. Oh, wow. But, yeah, a young lady, Caramel Kitten, got arrested for twerking on his grave. Wow. So that right there is just
went way too far with that one.
Sick.
Misguided.
But is that foul? Fresh, I'll let you jump first. Is that foul?
I agree with a lot of stuff that she said. I also was raised by my grandfather, you know what I mean? So I got involved with understanding that. Like, I went to Martin Luther King breakfast. I go to Martin Luther King breakfast every year at his church. Me, I'm not really religious. I'm not religious at all, but I go to his church to learn about Martin Luther King and all that. However, I am from a younger demographic of the age group now, whereas we see things in a different light. We see things as not being, oh, this is disrespectful, we need to talk about it, we need to address it, but rather there are so many other things that need to be addressed, that a Martin Luther King flyer, which like Chill said, is people in churches that have Martin Luther King on their flyers advertising that. But that's their culture of that church, what they relate to. This is the culture of the youth trying to incorporate Martin Luther King Jr. with what they do. Like, it's not, people of an older demographic, they take it as disrespect because they don't understand that it's not meant to be a disrespect from the people of my demographic or below my demographic, but rather incorporating something with something that we do is partying. We party. So we want to incorporate Martin Luther King with being hot, being hip hop, being urban, being something to blend in. Because if we give him that tie and suit and we put him on a flyer, nobody's going to come to the party. You know why? Because we can't relate.
So to me that is just a commercialization of the Martin Luther King holiday. Because look at this picture.
Capitalization.
What is there to party about that?
Well, see, that's the whole thing.
But that is the whole thing. The whole thing is that this is what he marched against, so that you could have the rights that you enjoy today as a black man, and that those same kids that are coming out to party in that club can have as people of color.
But we're not celebrating this. This is what we're celebrating Martin Luther.
No, you're not celebrating Martin Luther King. You're not celebrating Martin Luther King. Take him off the flyer.
What I'm saying is that if they would have put this on the flyer, it's one thing. But they put Martin Luther King, they're celebrating all that he's did.
No, they're not. They're celebrating. What they're celebrating is come out. You got the day off work. Come out and party.
But how can you say that if you're not in the demographic of the people celebrating?
Because it is exactly.
That's your opinion of what the people in the demographic are doing.
No, it's exactly what it is. You know, cutting all. Let's cut the bull. That's exactly what it is. They got a holiday. The holiday is named Martin Luther King.
I'm a party promoter.
Them coming out to party means you got a day off. Come out to my party.
Yes,
I'm gonna make some money, and you got a day off, so you're gonna come party. It has nothing to do about the man's sacrifice.
Now, wait. Let me throw this in. So when a church does it, because they're inside talking about Martin Luther King. So let's say somebody got on the mic during the party and was like, shout out to Martin Luther King. Everybody put your hands up for Martin Luther King tonight. What's the difference?
Well, I'll inject this, okay, because I believe strongly in balance. There has to be a balance. I don't have any issue with young people saying let's come out and celebrate Martin Luther King, because you know what? That's what it's really about. It's really about celebrating our freedoms, what the price is, but it's how you do it. And see, the church is doing it in their tasteful and respectful way. And to me, to have the Jesus thing, I don't care if you associate him with Jesus, but it's just don't degrade him. If he wasn't a man who you don't see him with the t-shirt and the jeans and you see him dressed as a man that means business. And so my thing is, if you put MLK on your flyer, by all means, if you want to put a picture of him, but do it respectfully and tastefully on his level. Now, if you jam in your party, I don't care what you do it, have fun. I believe in having fun, but to degrade him, is it when you do something like you said earlier, if you do something on somebody else's behalf, when they look at it, will they give their stamp of approval? So that's my argument.
Question real quick, before he speaks. Degrade. Does anybody know the history of wearing gold? Does anybody here know the history of wearing gold and jewelry in Africa?
It's okay, but what's the body language? How was his body?
His body was regular. I mean, it was one fly where he was doing it with West Side, but that was to represent.
Come on, keep it real.
The one with the G-Ways.
He was just sitting there.
Honestly, it was.
I didn't see the flyer.
It was imposed. He had a black and white suit on, but he just had the.
I didn't see it.
And I hate calling it that too, but he had the jewelry on, and it wasn't an extravagant like old school jewelry with a whole bunch of Mr. T. It was one long chain with a medallion. So go ahead, Fresh.
I gotta see. Do you have the flyers?
Nah.
So I can't really see.
The whole thing with it was that like,
why couldn't that picture?
There is such a. Well, this is kind of touching on a later on topic, but there is such a generational divide.
Agreed.
Right now, that not for nothing, but these elders and older folks can't highly understand anything that's going on. They can't understand anything that's going on within anybody under 25. I give it, because there's such a generational divide. So whereas you might see something as disrespectful, they don't see it that way. So when you say, "Oh, you're treating them disrespectful," to me, I would say what would be disrespectful is if nobody mentioned Martin Luther King.
No, actually, no. Now that's stop.
See, look,
that's it right there.
Stop.
Freedom to church.
No, that is nonsense.
But
I don't even want to hear that.
I just want to address what you said.
Yeah, because that's nonsense.
Fresh. I wanted to do.
I understand what he's saying.
You said the older generation can't understand. I actually want to flip that because with becoming older, you gain wisdom.
But they don't.
And so I think what the younger generation might be missing is the level of wisdom that is felt around Martin Luther King Jr. That they're not relating to what the possibly people that are older generation are trying to communicate to them when they say that this is disrespectful. It's not okay just to honor anybody any old kind of way, because if it's not done a proper way, then you just take the honor out of it. And I'll say when you honor someone, it's so specific to, and I'm not going to go very deep religious on everybody, but if you go back to the Old Testament and you had celebrations and you had feasts and you had even certain things that were done in the temple were done so specific to such an order because there was honor around things. And people used to have honor. Men used to have honor. Men used to dress in a certain way. They had a hat and a suit. And now, really anything goes. So we're losing that as time progresses.
I'm going to break down in this picture. If you could put the picture back up, I'm going to break down how older folks don't even think that what we're doing is incorporating, but it is in the shows. Look to the left of the picture where you see Martin Luther King with the gold piece on. You see that, right?
Right.
Everybody sees that, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess they trying to incorporate him with hip hop, right? They have no respect for Martin Luther King because they made him look like that, right? But then look at the right picture, on the right of the picture at the top with his picture. Do you see the other picture of him? Respectfully how he was back then?
Right.
Do you see? No.
I saw it.
You seen it, right, Joe?
Yeah.
You seen the picture on the top right part with Martin Luther King in the corner, and it's look.
I still don't see how you about to justify this.
I'm about to show you because look, they're showing respect, and the older folks don't see this. Look,
where did it go?
Look on the top, right behind the girl. You see, that's him back then.
That's the picture
his real picture.
That's the picture they should
If they was meant to be disrespectful and solely disrespectful, they would have never took the time to put that picture of Martin Luther King back in the day.
That's the picture they should use.
It wasn't meant to be disrespectful.
No, it wasn't. I don't think
they
didn't
meant
realize
for that.
It was out of ignorance.
Right.
It was out of
You
ignorance.
knew better. You do. They say ignorance is bliss.
No, it's not.
If it was out of ignorance, they wouldn't have put the picture up of him.
No, they didn't. It wasn't intentful. See, this is the point. It wasn't intentful. And I'm gonna argue with you to differ because I think I love young people, and in fact, I'd rather sometimes be among the young people than people my own age, because sometimes I agree with you, there is a serious disconnect, and that's why our young people are in the state of mind that they're in, because instead of us and I kind of got railed out in the church one day when I got the mic. Because I said in our community, we have always been, our motto has been, the kids are to be seen and not to be heard. And I think that is such a lie, because you need to be heard as well as seen, because you are a people. You deserve respect. You deserve an ear that listens to you and hears your argument. And you were designed for such a time as this. And so it is imperative, like I said earlier, how the baton was dropped. See, there was no one of quality or of character, of conviction that took over from where Martin Luther King left off. And that's why our people are in a state of disarray, in my opinion, that we are. We got to one point, but we didn't cross over. We didn't reach the mountaintop that he was really talking about. And that's my argument, and that's my opinion. And I think it's because we didn't embrace the younger generation. We didn't equip the younger generation for the march that's set before them. And so I hope that we will wake up, us in our 40s and above, from our slumber, and we will recognize our failure to maintain a interactive communication with the young people.
Now, and I agree with you on that. You have to find a balance. It goes both ways. You need the wisdom of the older, but the older can't bear their traditional ways all the time.
No, we got to be open-minded.
There has to be a balance, which is what I do, and I bring church up because church is always the traditionalist. That's one thing that I do like. That now, if you want to go in with a suit, you can go in with a suit. If you want to go in with the jeans or whatever, you can go in with the jeans. And I pray that other religions follow that same mantra, even though things like being a Muslim, that's their decorum, that's what they are. Wow. I want to bring up something about commercialism.
That's how my pastor dresses.
Let me say this. This here, I understand what Soups is saying too about, I think you brought up the point about commercialism. But don't they do that to all the historic people?
Look at that.
I mean, if you look at George Washington, they make spoofs of him. Now I know he's white and all that, but they make spoofs of him on these car commercials.
Lincoln.
They make spoofs of Lincoln. They make spoofs of Harriet Tubman. I've seen that before. So
all right, but they don't look like
that. This is different.
They don't look like that.
Yeah, that's different.
I ain't see that one. Now wait a minute, you throwing some new stuff up in there.
What's so bad about that one?
But now listen.
Yo, what up, man? What's up with the shuffle? Come on, MLK weekend, come out and shuffle with me.
He used to shuffle back in the day, right?
Would you see him like that?
Look at his face.
I mean, this whole thing. You guys. So
what about this one?
Maybe he would throw some dollars up and say, "Where my bad bitches at? Come on out. I have a dream bash."
Did anybody see the Malcolm X movie?
And he got a stripper in the background.
Is that crazy or what?
I just want to know, are you telling me before we get to the next part of the thing, are you telling me that Martin Luther King was 100% holy? He had no time to the club and shuffle.
Yeah, you sinking. Before you try to defend his flag, you sinking.
What I'm saying is that why can't we celebrate
Bruh, he was on a flyer that said
some bad bitches.
Bad bitches. Pardon my language, but
I have a dream bash.
bad bitches, and he got dollars and there's a stripper in the background.
Listen,
man, come on.
Some
I need
are
some
over the top.
Ciroc when I'm marching on Washington. I need some Ciroc.
right.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm surprised they have him with the bottle sipping. Some Ciroc boys or something.
I do want to say this though, and I forgot who said this tonight. One thing I definitely agree with, that the ball has fallen, and we talk about that all the time. With and y'all know how I feel about Al Sharpton. Everybody knows that. You know how I feel about the
Your favorite man in the world.
civil rights leaders. Where's my picture at, Soups?
What?
Do we got my photo?
You
I'll let you find my photo. My other half.
Your other half.
Because I'm about to go there now.
Oh Lord.
Let me try to go find it.
It's very interesting to me, and circumstances are different. And I'm going to give an analogy like with sports. The NFL at one point in time, every rule went. You can clothesline somebody to tackle them. You can yank them. You can do whatever you wanted to do to get the man down. You could break a leg. No one cared. Concussions, they played all the time. We're, quote unquote, supposed to be getting wiser, so now the rules have changed.
For the worse.
Now,
for the sport, anyway.
Now, here's the thing.
Be touched soon.
Preach.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, those, I got nothing but respect for the dudes in the 60s. The 50s and the 60s, them dudes, courage personified. Now.
No face mask, nothing.
The dudes that are out there now, man. Now, some might say
Powder puff girl.
Something's better than nothing. That's what I feel. But I don't know. And how do they compare in you guys' minds to Martin, Malcolm? If you look at our leaders now,
there's no direction, in my opinion. There's no really any solid direction. We're just existing. And just like she was talking about earlier about commercialism, everything's about self. It's about self promotion. It's about how I can get my in there. But there's no, and then we have a lack of substance. There's no. Everything is shallow, and if you go in too deep, forget about it. And that's just my opinion. I think that we've become, not just our culture, but as a nation, we've just become really shallow. If you really want to talk about issues, and just like I said earlier, the focus is on excuses. We got a lot of excuses as to why we can't rise up to a standard, but we have no standard that's really set for us.
I kind of agree. It's just two
Chill
things.
step one. Chill step.
that's me right there. That's chili white right there.
I got some things I'm going through, so I don't really want to go here fully. But if you look at Sharpton, like the before and after, like what you just said about people, it's about how I can get to the next level and then promoting myself and market. He seemed like, you know how they say when like a female R&B singer or a female actress, when she gets to a certain standard, she feels like she has to lose weight and to fit into that image of what the Hollywood personification of what a woman should be is like. It's like he did the same thing. Look at him. That's him now.
Well, he had to. He got a young girl.
I mean, I'm gonna give him. Listen, I'm never going to diss somebody for their we don't know whether his doctor told him, hey, you need to lose weight, you got pressure. So I give him kudos for that. The thing that concerns me about Sharpton is, and sometimes it's good to hear a voice, but there's too many situations where I think he uses it to publicize himself more than for the cause. I hate to say it, but I do. And he's entitled to do whatever he wants. If he want to run for president next year, he can do that. But sometimes being seen, good publicity, and this is what we tend to forget, good publicity or bad publicity is still publicity.
Wow, hold on, whoa, chill. Hold on, chill. What does Al Sharpton do? Because what?
Maybe they should have put him on the flyers.
Listen, he's already got. You got that right.
It's one on the left too. You see the hair, you can't see the girl, but it's one on the left too.
His girlfriend, she's 34, 35.
But you know what?
That's his girlfriend.
She's 34. He about 89 and a half.
And one other thing too, and I know we jumping on. We can say that for another topic. Did anybody see the cover of Essence?
No. Yes.
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey and his wife.
Oh, Steve Harvey got a young girl too.
They was nasty.
Let me tell you something.
She's not that young.
Listen.
Oh, now who's that? Who's that girl right there?
I gotta talk to Steve.
He got one on the left too in this other picture.
I gotta talk to Steve, but we'll say that for another topic because he cracks me up, and I wish we can pull this up real quick, but maybe we'll do it another time. if you look at his first wife and his wife now, and I'm sitting there going, you wrote a book that's a movie called Think Like a Man, and you telling half of these women in America
you got that
what
right.
to do,
you got that
when
right.
you basically just left your wife because she wasn't the Hollywood wife, and that's what I personally believe. She wasn't the Hollywood wife. He looks at all his other.
This is his third wife.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow, hold up, damn.
But that's what we are as society. That's what we are. Fresh, I want you to go to the next segment, man, because it was interesting. I saw the R&B segment because I know we low on time. But
so we're gonna go to the next segment. But to start the segment off, if you could, you can play the 2 intros because it would give a perfect lead off to this segment. And this segment we're gonna talk about is the same thing, but we're gonna talk about music wise. Have the new up and coming artists like we just spoke to Noel Gourdin, and he gave a perfect breakdown of how it is with new artists and old artists and the lack of respect or basically, you know, everything about that. So we're going to get into that right after this introduction with Ice-T and Soulja Boy.
Is it the song or is it
press Ice-T first and press Soulja Boy.
Let's get it. Listen to this.
Silver the Navigator. Fuck Soulja Boy. Eat a dick. This nigga single-handedly killed hip-hop. Soulja Boy, let me talk about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, I know you're young enough to be my kid, but you single-handedly kill hip-hop, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't fucking from it. All that shit is such garbage. You can't do that, man. We came all the way from Rakim, okay? We came all the way from DOS Effects. Came all the way from motherfuckers flowing like Big Daddy Kane and Ice Cube, and you come with that Superman shit. That shit's garbage. The Hurricane, take them fucking beads out your fucking hair, kid.
All right, we had to cut it a little bit because it was the profanity. But go ahead. I understand what you're saying. You get the idea of that.
Yeah, but the Soulja Boy one next, just real quick. It's not like
Ice Cube.
Soulja Boy.
Ice Cube. Ice-T went hard.
This is the return from Soulja Boy.
Yeah, you have to forward a little bit, like
Ice-T.
A little more.
Silver the Navigator.
Look at here.
I go back.
Fucking from it. All that shit is such garbage.
Cut him off.
You can't do that, man. We came all the way from Rakim, okay? We came off.
Man, fuck all that. Look at here. This nigga Ice-T old as fuck. This nigga old enough to be my great grandfather. Now. He's the forefather of my nuts, nigga. This nigga. This nigga was born, man. Hey, now we Wikipedia this nigga. This nigga was born in 1958. This nigga comes. Hey, this nigga somebody from the West Coast. This nigga, you was born in New Jersey, dog. For real, like real talk, dog. This Mr. Tracy Lauren Morrow.
Yeah. Basically, what that's basically doing is showing the generational gap in hip hop, and that's hip hop alone. It's the same thing with music with R. Kelly and Trey Songz. Because they have a situation going out where they had a situation. But basically, it's not always on the youth that's breaking this thing. Sometimes it's on the older folks that attack the youth to stay relevant.
Do you really think he was trying to stay relevant, or was he arguing his position?
Well, Ice-T had a new album coming out at the time.
Yeah,
but I think he was trying to, because a lot of people feel like that, though. It wasn't just him that felt like that. He just the one who said it. Because then everybody start coming up with the Tutti Frutti song and all the dance song. They not rapping no more. They dancing with, they got their pants all tight.
That's a part of hip hop.
Crazy.
I'm going to disagree with the Ice-T needed it. Ice-T don't need nothing.
No, he doesn't.
At this point in his career. At this point in his career.
To stay relevant in music?
He's an actor.
He doesn't.
He's an actor now. He don't need those.
Well, here's the thing. You got to remember, he's even more than an actor. Ice-T is a film producer. He got enough juice to pull somebody and get them going to an A&R, to a major label, and probably getting them out. Matter of fact, he has an artist out now that we interviewed. I forgot his name. It slips my name. Yes, Zaheem. So I don't think he needs it. I think that's genuinely how he feels. Because he's considered a pioneer.
And then that's
just how he get down.
That's the difference about substance and being shallow.
Yes.
When someone has a heart's conviction and when someone is just doing things. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any disrespect to the young people, we failed to give you real passion. We, as the generation before, we failed to spark a fire in you, because there's a fire in you that says that there's a deep conviction from my argument. This is my argument. This is what I stand for, and I don't give a darn what everybody else is doing. This is my conviction, and you don't have that as a generation, and you need to find that, because in that is sustainability.
And also, we gotta stop both sides. You gotta get thicker skin. First of all, you don't in a conversation, or if you're trying to help somebody or to understand, you stop defending your thing. Try to go into it open-minded.
Right.
And I just look at Ice-T here. Here he goes, public on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, cursing him out, basically.
Yeah,
instead of maybe going and try to talk to him. Hey, listen, young, I'm Ice-T. I'm your boy. Let me take you under my wing. Let's talk a little bit about. Let me find out why you did the song. Because I will say this. As much as I'm not a Soulja Boy fan, I wasn't buying his music, and he still went crazy platinum.
Do you know? Somebody told me. I'm trying to think. One of my friends told me that is one of his favorite artists, not because of the actual music that he does. He likes the tracks, but the dude is real. He said all his friends that he was around or whatever, he said he held them down. They're making millions of dollars. Close to, he's pushing, trying to get near probably in the billion range.
He's facing some serious legal charges now.
Yeah,
but was another point I wanted to add to that. Yes, Ice-T could have came at him different, but I remember having a conversation with a bunch of gangbangers, right? And I won't say from what particular gang, but we interviewed them, and they said the older gentleman said that they have a hard time influencing the younger generation because they say, "Oh, you an OG." You know, they're even telling they're telling their gang, there's the respect even in the gangbang.
Right.
Used to be,
because there's no conviction. There's no conviction. See, the hierarchy of order, there is none anymore. No. There was a hierarchy of order where you came up under somebody and you submitted and you honored them. And so my argument now is it's any man's game. It's crazy. Any man's game. There's no respect. And the young lady that was here last night said that there is no respect amongst each other. So anything goes. There's no longer any rules. We've become boundless. Yes. We've become ruleless because everybody's out for themselves, and everybody thinks. See, now with social media, now we all think we're superstars. We all think we're superstars.
See, to piggyback on that, I'm gonna go
and I think, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Noel said that. He said with social media now, it's hard for those artists to come up because now you got artists everywhere. Yeah. So you have people who may not make it to the mainstream, but their voice is off the hook, and you can watch them on YouTube. You can download their music, etc. So there's no boundaries and there's no longer any rules.
See, now I'm gonna piggyback off what she said. I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, right? I am an artist. By myself, I've gotten hook up with MTV. I got a contract with MTV currently. I've talked to DJ Drama, biggest DJ in the world right now for hip hop. I've talked to Don Cannon. I've talked to a lot of people. But coming up, I never was given help from people that was big in East Orange, like Queen Latifah or Tretch or
Wendy Williams.
By Nature or Wendy Williams. So to me, it's like when I make it, do I have to respect them? I give courtesy because they're from Jersey.
Yeah, I hear.
But I don't have to respect them because they didn't help me. So as a youth, that's how we feel.
Feel you.
We feel like you didn't help me, and you see me coming up.
Yeah.
And now I'm here now, and you expect me to listen to what you're going to say. It's not going to happen.
But I'm going to say this to you: I can remember starting out in corporate. This is like 20 years ago. I have your same argument. I saw other black women who good friends with me. Oh my God, Marty, can you make me a flyer for this? Can you do this for me? But honey, they did not help me up. They did not help. They did not. And that's what I'm saying to you about. I can relate to what you're saying because we don't help each other. And that is something that needs to change. I'm not into the cliques, and I'm not into politics. I'm into genuinely helping you. I have a heart. I will give you the shirt off my back and I could just meet you because I understand being in that place where you're looking to people who are in your inner circle who should be helping you and they don't. So I hear you loud and clear with that argument.
Go ahead, Soups.
Well, you go ahead and jump in, but I just wanted to say, but
I wanted to make a
there
point
are
too.
networks in terms of, where you put yourself, where you do receive help. Now, granted, it is a dog eat dog world. It is, hands down. But I have to say, I have been helped along the way, and I have helped along the way. So I don't think that door is all closed, but sometimes your biggest gains and your best gains are when you put the steam of power and you make it happen for yourself, just like that man make it happen.
Yeah, you got that right.
But well, go ahead, Kirk. Go ahead.
Dang. Man, y'all done cut.
He forgot.
Are you in the loop? Are you in the loop?
I just lost.
Well, check it out. Here's the thing too, and it's once again, it's a give and take thing. I totally understand too what you're saying, Fresh, but at the same token, sometimes there are people that take the help and use it for their own motives and reflect after they learned. Screw you! I got you. I used you for what I need you for.
There's a lot of arguments
in this industry, and that's where the things I'm gonna tell you that's slightly different. In the real world, your boys are gonna look out for you. You grew up with them; they love you. And I mean, sometimes you get a shady dude. But in the industry, that's why they say it's a ruthless. It's ruthless. You on top one day. And then how many times you heard somebody that fell to the ground, like MC Hammer? Let's look at him. He helped all those people. He knew every exec in the world at one point in time because he was the hottest thing out. But nobody helped him afterwards. So my point is, and this happened here at BKS. Let's be honest, Soups.
Yeah.
There's been people that came to our station. We put them on the team. They sat. They learned. And then they went out and tried to just do everything. One day they just, screw y'all. I can do the same thing. And then they went out and they realized it's not as easy as it looks.
No, because we've had about 4 spinoffs.
Yes,
and not one of them is.
Yes, but we always wish them the best because that's just the way it is.
And it's the right thing to do.
For some people, it's a launching pad. For some people, it's where they're gonna grow their personality, their host,
Don't get me wrong. Katie Couric was on NBC. And then she got the $1 million deal. Said, "See you later." I mean, as a businessman, you do got to look at yourself as to what it is, but it's the way that you go about it.
Right,
there you go.
Right.
It's the way you go about it.
And it's true too. You always your attitude maintains your altitude and how you'll go. Now, even though I was not helped, I still love those people. I still serve those people with a smile. You know why? Because it also still taught me to build my character, to polish myself, and to prepare myself, and to know that guess what? If I don't make it for myself, then I can't depend on anybody else to make it for me. So still in that were life lessons. But what I really wanted to make in that point was I share your pain in that. I really share your pain in that.
Would you help him though? Like if you
absolutely, because you know what? Oh, you doggone right, because nobody buying me up. See, I'm free. Yeah. See, I'm free. Yes. See, now when that's you
woman talk right there.
Listen, now what at night when I get ready to go to sleep, I can sleep. I don't have insomnia. I sleep at night. And guess what? When I look in, I'm sorry, sweetie, but when I look in the mirror at myself, I smile because I'm proud of who I am. I'm not dogging someone else out because they dogged me. That's their problem. See, if they didn't help you, that's their problem. And then you also have to remember, too, that there are things that are going on in their lives. It's not always necessarily that they weren't trying to help you, but you don't know what goes on behind closed doors with individuals. They could be going through themselves and they could be feeling attacked because everybody's getting attacked. So they could be going through their own personal battles. So sometimes you have to say, maybe it's not them. I'll give them a pass. You know?
Yeah. You hit something so imperative on the head. Definitely.
When I say me though, I don't mean just personally.
No. I know. I understand
exactly.
I understand what you're saying.
I was gonna go back to that's what I was gonna say before about when y'all were talking about the OG situation when you was talking about like in the gang and I'm like, wow, that's amazing because especially in that venue or in that environment, the OG is the one who's supposed to be like the shot caller. He's the one when he say that's what goes. It's not a question. Now they're looking at it like, OG, man, you played out. You don't know what's going on. You don't got nothing to do with this. You need to mind your business, kind of like.
Right.
And I'll speak, and this is a part of how everybody is in this, and I'm keeping it real. This generation is very cold. There's a misconception about being the OG, the leader, because you not only have a bunch underlings under you respecting you, you got those coming up viewing you as a target, because if you get taken out, then they can move up.
Right.
So that's one thing I always said. It's always tough being the top guy. And this generation here, like I said, I love them. I got a niece that's in high school now. I pray every night that everything goes well. I tell her to stay in your education. And I worry. But at the same token, and I see the question, and we got like 5 more minutes. Go to the next one, and I'll read it for you, Tress. If the trend of not respecting artists from earlier generations continues, what is the end result? And what do you believe can be done in order to change this spiral or going down? Can it be stopped, or is it just let's chalk it up to the cycle of life?
Well, I'll plug this, and this is not about plugging myself. It's really about, when you see an issue, are you going to just complain about the issue, or are you going to make a difference? And so my contribution is to reach back to young people and teach them how to prepare for their future. Because a lot of times what happens with our young people, and we were talking about this earlier, about how no one's helping them. And I am currently developing a program that actually teaches them how to set goals and to follow those goals till achievement. And that's my contribution as to making a difference, is to just really go back to the youth and say to them, hey, listen, you got dreams, you got goals, you got ambitions, but how are you going to reach that expected end? How are you going to get there? Because I know for me, no one taught me how to set goals. Most of the times you just did things by happenstance. And so the difference to me is to teach them how to do things on purpose and to have a purpose. And part of that program is to teach them to tap into themselves. What are you drawn to? What do you naturally draw to? Whether it's dance, like I really loved the performers last night. Who performed at Maxon Middle School last night? That was an awesome performance, and all I could think about was, do they understand that they can become a production company? Like, do they understand that they can really take this to a whole nother level? If they have that entrepreneurial mindset, that they could really, if they strategically plot out, where do we want to be in the next whatever years? What do we want to add to this strategically to help us develop and grow from this point on, that grow in a sustainable and measurable way? And so that's what I think that needs to be done. If someone has a gift or talent, they need to go back to the community and really teach on purpose, structurally, because that's the only way you're going to change anything.
You go ahead, Soups. You got to add to it?
Just one thing I want to say about respect and how it's viewed, I think, in terms of, the younger generation. They take respect not so much about putting it upon other people, but internalizing it. So it's like, don't disrespect me. And when they feel disrespected, there is such an anger behind that. And I think that's why we see such a result in the level of violence that we see, and not only in the black community, but just in the, young people as a whole.
And I do want to say this, and I don't want to just beat up the younger generation, because I'm going to be fair about this. One thing I do like when I talk to my niece, and I do a lot of things also with kids too. I know I'm the crazy, cursed out guy and everything. You laugh, you joke and everything, but I do a lot with kids at my church. I noticed there's a slight change. When I remember being in school, slang is still there, but it's down. Like, I hear more kids now talking more proper. Like, it's funny to me. Some high school kids now. A friend of mine, his son, is talking, and he's like, yeah, really? And it's sort of like back in the day when I was in school, I looked at that as being nerdy. But it's because us as parents now have taught the value of education. I think now kids are looking more forward to go to school. When I was coming up, my father was just happy to get a diploma out of high school.
Yeah, correct.
Because they was from the South. They didn't have great education. Half of our parents may not have had high school diplomas, but they made it happen. So if I came home on graduation day, my father didn't push me to go to college. He didn't. He just wanted that diploma. Now people or kids that I speak to now, I tell them you need that degree. You need to push for more than a degree. School, you can go to school for as long as you want to, and it can only better you. So this generation does have some of the understandings, but at the same token, they're gully. I'm gonna keep it real.
My little sister just told me the other day she wasn't going to college all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, where did this come from? And she didn't even answer me till she asked me $50 the other day and told me before she was talking about, I don't feel like talking. I said, well, listen. I said I didn't jump on her because college isn't for everybody always.
Right,
it's been a couple of years since when my mother passed away. I sent her. She's living with her godmother. So it's been like 5 years. She's 18 on the 27th. So maybe it's something that she had a different plan. I don't know. I thought she might have had some little boy in her ear or something. She's trying to follow him around. I asked her one day, "You have a boyfriend?" She said no. So I'm like, "What is it? Do you have a plan?" I came at her like this. I said, all right, you're not going to college. Where did this come from? And what do you plan to do? Because, in my mind, I'm already thinking, I know you're not thinking you're just going to sit around and be a loser, work minimum wage, because we don't do that in this family. That's not what we do. So do you have a plan? Are you going to go to another type of schooling? Or, what is the plan? If you don't have a plan, can we formulate a plan? That was my question to her.
Show enough in the chat room said, Show enough in the chat room said, it was basically piggybacking what we said. He said it can turn around.
Yes.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed.
No.
And someone has to be willing to teach, and someone must be willing to listen.
Right. It takes the two.
Yeah.
It takes the two. It takes the two.
That was a deep point because you can talk all day.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody paying attention.
And Pat hit on something that was very important is if their spirit is closed, you can't reach them. And you also said something too, Chill. You said that it was important for us to hear them, hear their voice, and to respect them and to be open to them. So both parties have to be open, the teacher and the learner. So and the student. So I think it can change. I think that it takes a lot of humbleness. It takes removing pride. And having an open heart to receive it because you benefit. See, that's why I talk about attitude, because if your attitude is negative, then you're not going to be able. Nobody wants to be bothered with anybody negative, so you're not going to be open. And you hinder your own self. You really hinder your own self. So if you want to achieve, you got to be open to learn and to be humble to receive it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I learned that. That's how I had to communicate with her because we were arguing back and forth, and that ain't getting us nowhere.
Well said. Well, another great night. Thank everybody for joining us, everybody in the chat, and forgive us if we did not get a chance to read all of your points. They will be read because they stay in the chat for a couple of days until the next show come along. So you can easily just go onto any of our Facebook pages, Twitter. We also have a Facebook page, BKS1 Radio. Go like it. BKS1 Radio Network. I believe that's what it is. Like it. Put your post up. It's public. Whatever you feel. If you got a topic that you feel as though we need to cover or talk about, we're open to suggestions. Anybody else want to add something? Go ahead, Fresh.
I want to say, Chill. Being as though it is Martin Luther King weekend birthday, maybe we can end when we do end on that Common song "I Have a Dream."
All right.
But as far as any topics that we discussed, any final words, anybody?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Tell everybody for the red boots. You know what? I'm looking at you all night. Do you get people that say you look like Melissa Ford?
No, but you know who I am. I used to flip down the streets here.
You used to flip down the street?
Yeah.
She remind me of Melissa Ford. I swear you do.
I swear you do a little bit.
Yeah, backflips all the way down. I was playing for high school cheerleader on Gourdin tumblers.
High five for the flip. Did you have those red boots on while you was doing it?
Maybe give everybody to see that links that they can contact you at and everything.
I was about to
you know what? I'm not set up quite yet.
I'm gonna hook you up.
When I'm ready to launch, I'll be back.
You like that? It's a guarantee, right?
Oh, definitely. Everything's I got things moving in motion. I have the program, the foundation I'm starting is called Bridging the Gap, Strategizing for Student Success, and the first program I've developed is called the SMART. It's the SMART approach to goal setting. Be specific, motivational, achieved, realistic, and time managed. And it's just that simple. And I believe, and I'm praying to God that the young people are really open to receive, because it's going to make a huge difference in their life and in the longevity of their future.
Also, we want to thank our guest tonight, Noel Gourdin.
Yes.
Listen. It's not out yet, but he'll be out on the 18th. Go support, man. As y'all heard, the song is great.
Yes.
We will be playing it here on BKS1 Radio.
Yes.
And until then, I'm going to end it with Common. I have a dream, but as we always say, it's never about us.
No.
It's always about you, because you are the next best kept secret.
All right.
Hey.
Enjoy your Martin Luther King weekend.
Yeah. Put your Jesus piece on. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get it, y'all.
So real.
I got a dream. One day. We're gonna work it out. One day. We're gonna work it out. One day. We're gonna work it out. I have a dream. I got a dream. One day. We're gonna work it out. One day. We're gonna work it out. One day. We're gonna work it out. I have a dream. I got a dream. That one day. That one day. That one day. I'ma look deeper than myself. I gotta find a way. I have a dream. My dream is to be free. My dream is to be. My dream is to be. My dream is to be free.
In search of brighter days, I ride through the maze of the madness. Struggle is my address with pain and cracked lips. Gunshots coming from sounds of blackness. Given this game with no time to practice. Born on a blacklist. Told I'm below average. A life with no cabbage. That's no money if you from where I'm from. Funny, I just want some of your son. Dark clouds seem to follow me. Alcohol that my pop swallowed bottle me. No apology, I walk with a boulder on my shoulder. It's a cold war, I'm a colder soldier. Hold the same fight that made Martin Luther the king. I ain't using it for the right thing. In between lean and the fiends, hustle and the schemes, I put together pieces of a dream. I still have